And we're live. Are we live? What's up, guys? The live stream seems to be offline. We should be live at any moment. Let me see.
Yeah, we good.
There you go. What's up, guys? Good evening. How are you? What's up, Mario?
What's up, Alvaro? How you been?
Yeah, let me. What's up, guys? Oh, my. Good evening. How are you? My volume is very high. Hold. Can you please talk, Mario, to make sure that everything is.
Check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Everything is good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I think we're good.
I can hear the echo of my own voice, I guess.
Yeah, I know because I was listening to the stream, but now we should be fine. Can you guys hear us? Is the sound okay? Is the sound okay? The Empowered Woman channel. Hey, how are you? Here, Angelo. What's up, guys? How are you? Let's just let the stream catch up. And yeah, we wanted Mario. Yours not loud enough. I just turned his volume up. I just did it a bit more. I think that we are even here, Mario. Yeah,
Actually, your voice is too loud. It's like piercing my ears.
Wow. Okay. There you go. I already turned down my volume.
Okay.
We are improvising here, guys. So sorry for the technical details. Let me listen to this now. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I'm too loud. We are improvising here, guys. So sorry for like extremely loud. I don't know why. Let me listen to this now. Hold on. Okay. I'm too loud. Yeah, I can, remain a bit away from my mic. What about your sound? Sounds good, right? Your voice? Sounds good.
Whatever you say,
think
I
so?
can't hear. Yeah, I can only hear what you're saying right now. I don't know how it's sounding in the live stream. You have to tell me. Is it clear?
No,
Everyone,
your voice is good.
let me know.
Your voice is good.
Yeah.
I'm turning down my volume just in case.
Live stream, you have to tell me.
So this is live TV, guys. Sorry about that. Hi, Lina. How are you? Good evening. Much better, Mario. Angela says. There you go. So we can
Perfect.
start out here. So we wanted to tell you guys about the upcoming CPI data report. It comes out on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. That is going to be a huge market mover. It is going to create a lot of volatility. And what do you think is going to happen tomorrow, Mario? We had a very decent close today. I am actually holding Tesla calls. I think that we might be going higher tomorrow, at least until noon. Then afternoon, we could be seeing some sort of downwards pressure into the closing bell. Some people closing positions into the CPI data report that comes out on Thursday. So what do you think about today's close?
Today's close was not so bad, to be honest. Like they closed at the highs of the day, and I won't be surprised if they ran a test again to 393.45 and change tomorrow. If they opened above 390.61 in SPY.
Can you please show your screen, Mario? We cannot see your screen.
Yeah. Let me
go ahead
share my.
yeah.
Let me share.
Share your screen and let us know.
So
We closed
today's
above
close-
390, right? Today, yeah, we did.
yeah. I
That
want
was a very decent close.
396.60. I want 396.60.
There you go.
Yeah. So they did have a decent day, to be honest. So let me maximize it. When it comes to SPY, this is a daily chart we're looking at. So they did come all the way back down to run a test to the daily wrap over there around 395. And the pre-market session, they held it as support, which was around 38.90 in ES. And they held it as support and they bounced and then they closed above 390. Tomorrow, if they open above it, they're 390.60 to be exact, but let's just say 390 give or take. So if they open above it, we can see SPY running a test to highs of yesterday again, so which is around 393.45. And with CPI, if it comes down under 6.5% as estimated, yeah, we can easily crack this trend line, and then just keep shooting above 400.
Yeah, that trend line is the one that comes from all-time high, Mario. The bulls have failed right at that trend line on multiple occasions, right? 3 or 4 times.
Four times to be exact.
4 occasions. So that's a logical area of supply rather than demand over there.
This is the weekly charts. So if bulls manage to take out 393.45, we can easily see SPY running test to 400 to 402. That's the most bullish scenario.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a bullish case, right? So what happens
Mm-hmm.
if the report happens to come out worse than expected? We are expecting core CPI to come out year over year, reflecting an increase of 5.7%.
Mm-hmm.
Core CPI month over month, 0.3%. That's an increase. And headline inflation is supposed to come down, Mario, right? So we're expecting
Yep.
deflation when it comes to headline,
Negative print.
0.1%. Yeah, negative print.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is gonna be fun. And year over year, when it comes to headline, we're expecting 6.5%. So do you think this is possible?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a negative print, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the inflation starts coming down drastically than the Federal Reserve is expecting. I won't be surprised if we see the 2% before the end of 2023 as well. That
Really?
fast. Yeah,
But
so
that
that most likely by the second half, by that time, we'll see like massive drawdowns in the prices, massive destruction in the demand. So
but that's
this is the thesis for now.
you're talking about a recession, Mario. If that were to happen, most likely, right?
Yeah, demand destruction will cause a recession, but inflation-wise, we will be headed towards the disinflation or deflationary forces. So if this upcoming data, let's say like on Thursday, we got a negative 0.2% or negative 0.3% inflation, where negative 0.1 is expected. So if we see the same in an accelerated pace to the downside in the upcoming readings, I won't be surprised by the second half of 2023, inflation comes down to the median target, and then they started cutting interest rates, and that's where we marked a temporary bottom in the stock market. This
So
is
you
just a
agree?
theory.
Yeah, you agree with Mary Daly. I listened to an interview of her yesterday. You know, this guy
Mm-hmm.
Nick Timiraos, the
Mm-hmm.
journalist from with the Wall Street Journal.
Mm-hmm.
So he interviewed Mary Daly, and she stated that she's expecting headline to be at 3% by year end, which I think is
3%?
very 3%. That which I consider very
Likely.
optimistic.
Yeah. It's
So
it's not about like as you said, right? It's not how the inflation is coming down. It's just like it's a cycle sort of thing. Like we might see like 3% by end of the year. Federal Reserve gets overly optimistic. They raise interest rates, and once they raise interest rate, sorry, they cut interest rates. Once they cut interest rates, we'll see inflation coming back again, and then they like it's
so
gonna be a back
you
and forth sort of thing.
so you're
Like
buying
I
my
kind of
uh,
technically, yes. Like Michael Burry
yeah, I was gonna
spoke
say
about
that.
this
You
as
read my
well.
mind. You read my mind. That's
Yeah.
you're buying
So,
his theory, right? There you go.
no, it's the most like the one which makes sense a lot. So because if you look at the companies, right, they stocked up big time because they got into the supply. The inflation is because of the supply chain, and once the supply goes higher, the inflation will come back down. They got into that theory, and then they got into like shit tons of supply when they're purchasing the products in times of the need. But right now, they have a lot of supply, but people aren't buying anything. The demand has come down much lower.
Yeah.
So now supply is higher, demand is lower, prices comes down, disinflationary effect. We call it bullwhip effect. So that's what I'm expecting to happen into the second half. The demand is already getting destructed, and I don't think China reopening is going to increase the inflation. I believe China reopening is going to cause the prices to come down even faster than expected because China, before they shut down, is not the same China which is reopening right now.
Yeah, the
The
company,
demand,
the economy has weakened. Yeah, I give you
exactly.
that.
The
Correct.
demand is already gone. Demand is already like in lowest pace ever. Now, if they're reopening all the supplies, who are they opening it to? The demand is not there. So I believe the inflation will come down much rapidly than the Fed is forecasting, and they will change their track once they see the inflation coming back down.
So
And that's the
you're
this thing.
calling
That's
out a
why I'm
pivot throughout this year, Mario. So I mean, so
not
far the
not
Fed has stated
pivot.
that they are not pivoting this year. They could change their mind. I mean, that could happen, but
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
and and we need to explain. We need to develop this point further. Why? Because if you guys listen to us or listen to Mario stating that the inflation is going to go lower very rapidly, So that's bullish because at this point we have a bunch of market participants still trapped in the inflation narrative, right? Like if inflation comes down, the Fed is going to pivot, and we're going to have a soft landing, and everything is going to be fine. In my opinion, and we can obviously discuss this topic, I think that if inflation actually happens to go lower as fast as you say, Mario, that implies that we are probably going to be entering into a recession, which is
Yeah,
going to
the recession is a base case for me. Like I never said we're not gonna step away from the recession. Recession is kind
yeah,
of will be the base case. Like the reason why the inflation is
that's the
coming
best case.
down.
What about your worst case scenario? Stagflation?
Worst case scenario for me will be like Fed keep raising interest rates. Unemployment rates are still not gonna come lower. It's a lagging indicator. I don't want to talk more about it.
Okay.
Fed keeps raising interest rates. Inflation stays like at the same pace as where it is right now, and it changes the trajectory and starts pushing higher. And then Fed needs to slam on the brakes by increasing like 100 basis points, 150 basis points, 200 basis points into every meeting in order to bring it down. That is the worst case scenario. Then we are looking at something worse than a recession.
Yeah. So in that case, you're implying that the Fed, if that were the case, I hope for that one not to be the case because that would be catastrophic.
Yeah.
Catastrophic for the market. If that were the case, so the Fed maybe would need to hike rates above the inflation rate, which would be a disaster.
Yep.
They would be
But
creating
that's another
a
problem
huge
though.
recession,
Yeah, that's another problem. They're going against the bond market here because bond markets are doing something on their own. They're not buying into the
Someone
bullshit
is lying
anymore.
here. I give you that.
Yeah.
Yields have been dropping a lot, so they are implying that the
Yep.
Fed is going to pivot at some point at some point in time, which I don't think is going to be the case. So
2023 end by exact. That's what they're pricing in. By the second half of 2023, Fed will pivot. That's what the bond markets are pricing in, and I kind of trust the bond markets right now because they've always been right so far.
yep.
It's a
And
disconnect between the markets and the Fed. That's what's going on. It's making Fed even more pissed off, to be honest, because like
yeah,
Fed is
yeah,
doing one thing, the
the
bond
bond
market
market
is
is
doing
signaling
completely
something
another.
different, right? Absolutely, yeah, sure.
Yep.
And you guys have to understand that if we happen to go into a recession, we are going to have a sizable multiple compression. That implies that we are very likely to see lower prices across the board in most of the indices, stocks, and so forth. So that is something that you need to keep in mind. And what's your likelihood, Mario, for a recession to occur? I am in the 90% camp, to be honest with you.
For me, that's the base case.
Oh my God, you're
Recession.
oh my
For
God.
me, that's the base case for me. Recession is a base case. Like it's gonna happen. But the thing is something to
So
note.
yeah, so in your
Markets
opinion,
bottomed.
it's inevitable, Mario, the recession, right? I mean, and
Exactly.
there you
Yeah.
go. Okay. I
But
got.
markets always bottom 3 months prior to the actual recession, just so you know.
Yeah, bro. I was listening to CNBC all day long today, dude. You have no idea the way that these guys are avoiding talking about a recession. I was so
Of
pissed,
course they are.
Mario. Bro, I was very pissed. I was like, we have mom and pops listening to CNBC all day long in order to make a decision about buying stocks. And they are not warning anyone about the probably inevitable recession that is pretty much upon us. I really got pissed, bro. I was like, I am no longer watching CNBC, and rather I'm gonna start watching Bloomberg, which happens to be a more serious TV network relative to CNBC. CNBC is very misleading,
Bloomberg
bro.
Bloomberg is technically like just a bunch of analysts talking about different stuffs. That's it. They don't try to pump it. They don't have Jim Cramer and
Correct.
all those stuff. They don't have
Correct.
anything. It's an independent
Yeah.
entity. They just do their
Yeah.
own
Yeah.
shit. So
Yeah.
let's see,
John
man.
Espanu. Bro, sorry, I'm gonna butcher your name. He's asking, is that your best case or your base case? Yeah, that's a good question.
That's the best case
Oh
scenario,
my
not the
God.
base case. You're getting technically both base case, best case, both. It doesn't matter. Like the best case scenario will be for you to get a recession
Correct.
and
And
just like demand destruction and then the market's recovering back again. That's like we
do
don't have
you,
any other way to go.
when it comes to the SPY, Mario, and in the case that the final leg down of this bear market happens to unfold, what's your target, bro, in the S&P 500 or the SPY? Do you have any target? Have you done some math over there?
I mean, like, I don't want to go into the. I mean, you gave a calculation about forward PE and stuff, right? So
Yeah,
you
I do
assume
have a
that
target, a mathematical target. Yeah, I already told you
yeah,
that.
so
Correct.
you took the forward PE to like 180-ish. So once you make the
Correct.
180-ish forward
Com-
PE, we got the
coming
price
down
around
from coming down from 230
two.
down to
Yeah,
180,
yeah.
and I am using a multiple for the forward PE of 17 times
hmm
earnings. Sorry,
hmm
of 15 times earnings. I'm being very but very optimistic with my estimate, and I do think that the S&P has an appointment with 3,200. That would be $320 in the SPY for the most part, guys.
Maybe
Correct.
in March. Maybe in March. So we're
Yeah.
looking at 338-ish in SPY mostly.
Correct.
So, I mean, for now, for me, most considerable target for 2023 will be around 338 and to 340 to 338-ish in SPY. So since you track
Okay.
SPX, let me see the
Yeah, it
equivalent
would
of
be like
SPX.
3,400 points ish.
Yeah, 3,370-ish
There you go. There you
and
go.
change. So that'll be the for now. For now, that's the case. If things starts getting worse, then yeah, we can see much lower prices. We can talk
Correct.
about 2,200, 3,200 and change. But for this year, I'm not expecting anything from US equities. I'm just expecting no returns, flat year, not that 15%, 20% like this idiots like Tom Lee and Kramer are spouting about at CNBC. It's like
What
flat, no
about
returns.
our boy Mike Wilson? He
I
has
agree with it.
this,
That's what I
yeah,
said.
for the same part, the same theory that I have. So Mario, and circling back to the CPI. So
Mhm.
I can notice that you're kind of optimistic in regard to the CPI. It might come out better than expected. What happens if the opposite happens? If it happens to come out worse than expected? So, do you have any target to the downside if that were the case?
If it comes worse than expected, we die. That's what happens.
But what if they shake it off, Mario? We have seen them, you know.
Depends. Depends on the data, to be honest. Like for now, for the last month's CPI and the month before that, the main concern was on the core CPI shelter side of things, which was the one which kept on pushing up. But last month we had a decline. It's not technically a decline, but it didn't go as high as analysts estimates. But we did decline on certain sectors to the downside, like used cars, apparels, and stuff like that.
Yep.
But this month, if we see a continuation of that, if we see continuation of that decline, then yeah, let's see. We can see lower than expected. But if we do get a higher than expected print, it's going to be kind of a slap in the face, to be honest, for all the optimists for the last CPI. One reading doesn't change the fact, but I gotta see like the overall trajectory. For example, the last month CPI is like, let's say 6 point or 7.1, I guess, right?
Okay.
Last month we got a 7.1 reading, and this month I gotta see 7.0 or at least like 6.9-ish. Even though the expected reading was 6.5, I want to see something which is lower than the last month at least. So if I see that, then the trajectory is still to the downside. Then it's
Correct.
higher than the estimated value, but at least the trajectory is still downside. But if I see anything like 7.2, 7.3, nah, it's going to be
There's no
brutal.
way around it. You think that that we're going lower if that were the case? If we happen to have a reading
Yeah,
above
anything about last
7%?
month. Yeah, anything
Correct.
about last month. Because year over year calculations are pretty weird because they're only going to calculate year over year percentages from last year, same month to this year, same month. So that's how they calculate it. So we can't make a federal case out of it. We got to see the trajectory on how the CPI is doing so far. If it's 6.5, we got to see how the CPI was on the January of 2022, and then like make a case out of it right now. Because I think that this is when we peaked, right? In 2022, Jan, Feb, and March, when Russia attacked Ukraine, that's when we had a massive spike in the inflation and stuff. So yeah, that's the only thing which I'm keeping an eye out for. Year to year, yeah, I mean, we can't make a federal case out of it because they're going to compare Jan 2022 to Jan 2023. That's what they're going to compare. And for Feb, it's Feb 2022 to Feb 2023. So it might vary. I'm just worried about the trajectory on how it's going.
Gotcha. Um, what about the bulls making the case that the economy is being resilient, even though if the reading happens to come out worse than expected? I don't know, man. We can expect anything, from the
Mhm.
bulls. But yeah, I do agree with you. If the report happens to come out way hotter than expected, say above 7%, the path of least resistance would be to the downside. Yeah, I would agree on that with you. Absolutely. Guys, yeah, investing for says that the audio doesn't sound too good. Sorry about that. We didn't. Yeah, we didn't.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, let me listen here. Let me listen to this quickly, Mario, while you keep on talking. Let me see.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Let me
my
double
audio
check.
sounds still too loud, bro. Unfortunately. I mean, sounds. Yeah, you know. Yeah, your audio sounds good, Mario. The problem is mine, unfortunately, and I'm trying to stay away from my microphone. But yeah, there's there. I mean, you guys can understand what we are saying, right? At least I promise that for our next stream, the technical issues are going to be solved.
I
It
think we
sounds
got
okay to me.
rusty,
Yeah.
mate.
Alpha Cent. How about that? Yeah. Next time is gonna sound better, guys. Promised.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the meantime, I know that you guys are coming for the information. So the information the information has been so far so good. Thank you for the heads up investing for. We are going to work on this for the next stream. Guys, do you want us to go over any given stock? When Mario speaks, we can hear your breathing. Oh my God. Just unclear to me, Lina Mary. We're gonna work on this. My bad, guys. We didn't run any trial, Mario. That's the reason why. We didn't
Yeah,
run any
maybe.
test. So that's the
Yeah,
reason why we're
maybe.
having these issues. Hey guys, I am holding Tesla calls. Do you want to go over Tesla, Mario? Do you think we're gonna be making money tomorrow? It closed above
Let me
BWAP
check.
and it also closed above 118 bucks. So I am holding calls over there. If you guys want us to go over any given stock, please let us know. Okay? Just drop a comment
Alright,
and down below and let us know, please.
so we're looking at Tesla.
There. Please let me.
Tesla.
Please confirm my bullish theory here.
All right, so yeah, they did close above 117. That's a good sign. So
It's
they
a
did
very
hold
ugly
that.
looking shirt, right?
Oh,
Very
yeah, that
ugly
is,
looking
but
shirt.
still, they can still play the counter trend rallies on it. Though they did close above the Friday's lows. That's a good sign. And if they do break above it, let's see, 120, 124. Those are the two levels to watch out for.
Correct. I have my price target would be around 123, which is the spot 124. Yeah, the spot in
Yeah.
which they fell at yesterday, right?
Those are
Okay.
the two levels. I mean, they did hold on to that one. They never closed under 110 to 14 zone. They tried to two times, but they got recovered back real quick. The weekly closes, if you go and check that out, none of the weekly closes are above this supply zone in demand zone to the downside, like 110 to 112. They always held that zone as support and kept pushing. If they do keep pushing to the upside, I can see at least 126.
Correct. Yeah, that's where my price target is at. 123, 124, 126 maybe, who knows. There you go. Okay, Tasala Aki asks about Meta. Guys, if you see
Meta?
my face turning red, that's because I'm trying not to breathe. So I don't annoy you guys with my breathing, you know?
You can
So
breathe,
if my face turns red, guys, I'm trying to avoid breathing here.
Oh my days, Alvaro.
Okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
I
bro.
mean, Meta did held on to that. Let me see here.
Yeah,
The
this stock
support
has been a
levels strong.
beast, bro. And actually, the best performing sector today was communication services, precisely precisely because of Meta. It went on an absolute
Yeah,
tear, and also Netflix, I think so. So let me
yeah.
see.
Netflix. Yeah, Netflix as well, up 4%.
Correct. Let me see.
Netflix did good too. Like I see it here, 4%. Wow, 327. Oh man. Right. So Meta did
Meta.
hold on to that 127. That's a good sign. 127, they held it. Now they are rejecting that AV wrap from the all-time lows. Sorry, not all-time lows. Where is this AV wrap coming from? I think it's coming from the June lows. Yeah. So they are getting rejected at the AV wrap coming from the June lows for now. So let's see. Like, as long as they're above 127, they're on their way to 134, 134.20. And if they break above it, they can easily march towards 139.
It's a bit overextended, Mario. We could be about to
Oh yeah.
see some sort of profit taking over there, right? It's a
Yep.
possibility. Yeah, communication services went up today 1.51%. It went on an absolute tear. We actually had some sort of higher multiple stocks positive day. Communication services got the gold medal, goes up 1.51%, and consumer discretionary went up today 1.26%. So we might see some, profit taking over here, but this is a very, I mean, this short is starting to look pretty attractive, Mario, right?
Today looks pretty risk on to me. Utilities
Yeah.
and XLP is actually down, but rest
Yep.
of all the other sectors are pretty positive.
Yeah.
With biotech leading. Biotech was up like 2.5, more than almost 3% today.
I mean, GameStop went up today like, I don't know, 7%. Party City went up 80%. They just declared bankruptcies. Yeah. So today we had a risk on mode day for sure. Seth D asks about Netflix. Netflix, it's been on run. Yeah, I have puts, so they haven't
You
been
have puts
they
on
haven't been
Netflix.
working out pretty well.
Okay, Netflix. So, oh wow. Yeah, it's a good looking chart.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming back to run a test to the top of this wedge, which we were having for the past few days. They broke under it, 280 pound support, and now pushing higher. So let's see, like if they break about 332, well, we are going to push even further to the upside.
What would be the next gap? That's a big gap,
Three,
Mario. 380,
uh,
360, right?
we are looking at 332 to 330. That's the zone which we have. Let me draw it up.
Okay.
All right, over here. Yep, there it is. So 330 to 332.
Good. There you go. Who else? Seth D also is also asking about Apple. Could close today, arguably,
Did
because
did
Apple
they
closed.
recapture 130? Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
they
Good.
recaptured 130 and close above BWAP as well. Yeah.
So they held the anchored VWAP from the lows as support, which the year-to-date anchored VWAP that is. So they held it as support today and started pushing higher, and they are still above 130. So as long as they're above this 130 to 129 zone, well, they can continue to push all the way up to 134 to 132 to 134 to the upside. But they got to stay above that 129 to 130 zone. Maybe CPI will be a telltale. Let's see.
Yeah,
That will define the trend.
and also keep in mind, guys, that after Thursday we have the beginning of the new earnings season. So banks
Yeah.
are gonna start posting earnings on Friday. We have J.P.
Mhm.
Morgan, we have Citi, we have Wells Fargo as well. I think on Tuesday we have Goldman Sachs, and
Mhm.
the commercial guidance of these banks are going to move the markets. What do they say
Yep.
about personal consumption, about demand and stuff, about loan provisions and stuff like that? That is also going to be a market mover. So keep that in mind.
Mhm.
That is going to be on Friday. I own JP Morgan actually. I have 100 shares over there. That's some sort of a long position with the laundromat. And yeah, I mean, so far so good, Mario. They are paying me a nice dividend. I have been selling covered calls, so it has been working out for me. But yeah, the big money of Wall Street is going to be paying close attention to whatever the banks say about the general conditions of the economy.
Look at this. JP Morgan has been performing pretty good so far from that $100 to almost like 138 and change. Pretty
And some
interesting.
and something that is worth to be pointed out here is the fact that if we happen to go into a recession, which you and I
Hmm.
agree on that, banks
Hmm.
are going to take a huge hit, huge,
I
because
mean,
we're
yeah.
going to have a big contraction when it
Hmm.
comes to credit, right? And by the way, Wells Fargo just announced a few minutes ago that they are walking away from the home loan business. So they are only going to be approving home loans for very selected customers. Let's just put it that way. So you cannot apply for a mortgage at Wells Fargo if you don't happen to be some sort of VIP customer. So that would be a bad sign, arguably, into the beginning of the new earnings season, right? Taking into
Yeah,
account
something to
that
keep an
banks
eye
are
out
going to be
for.
the first ones posting earnings, right?
Something to keep an eye out for. Correct. Agree.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Okay, guys,
So
do you want us to go over any other stock? We have 6 more minutes over here remaining. So just let us know. And as I said, sorry for the inconveniences when it comes to our sound. We didn't run any test before going live, and this is going to be fixed.
don't
Yeah,
breathe.
yeah. I mean, blame it on me.
Don't breathe.
Ah, okay, sorry. Yeah.
Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Casco,
Pause. Let me
Lena
see.
Marie.
Pause. Oh, all right, bro. You can breathe, man. I'm just kidding.
No, no, no. I'm trying. I'm trying not to, but I don't
No,
want to
no,
annoy
you're good. You're
anyone
good.
with
You're
my
good.
breathing.
No. Yeah, so it's pretty Costco. It's pretty simple from like right now they're getting rejected at that 483 level. If they break above 483, they can see it going all the way to run a test to 491 and 500 to the upside. So that's what I'm watching. That's all it is. So the range is between that. You can see that flaggish thing which they were forming, and they kind of broke under it like a bear trap, and then they just gapped it all the way up about this channel. So for
That's a
now,
big green candle there, right? Yeah,
yep,
that's a
just on
breakout
one
candle to
day,
the upside. Yeah.
it's a 30-point move,
Oh my god.
almost 30-point move in one day.
That I
Insane.
think that they announced the holidays sales and they were better than expected or something like that. I think so.
Interesting.
Maybe that's the reason why
Hmm.
everyone is gassing up at Casco. They're saving money.
Yeah, so this is a good, I mean, like, let's see, like, if they can break about 480, 483 and 483.21 and change, and if they can open above it tomorrow, they can get all the way to 490 or all the way to like 500 to the upside. Let's see.
Would you start any trade over there?
I wouldn't, but it's not personally the setup which I would usually trade.
Yeah,
So
that's a
if I
little.
want to start, I already like I was planning on going long on cat. Like it was a good looking chart. They just made a new all time highs
Yeah, that's a
today.
beast, an absolute beast.
Yep, they broke out. Now they are testing that 250. So let's see. Like they're above their new all time highs. They opened above it this week, and now they came back to run a test to 246.50, and then they held it as support. So yeah, this is a good looking chart to go long. And these are the types of setups which I usually trade. So cost, yeah, not my type of thing. But if people want to trade
That
it, like
that yeah, that
by
seems to be
buying to trade it,
some sort of a bull flag down there, right, Mario? If you take
in
a if you take a look at that big great candle,
Costco.
yeah, you can make the case in Casco that that's a some sort of bull flag over there. It looks
Oh
acceptable.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Like, let me see. Just a minute. Like, it should be having some. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I mean, if they do break, they're coming in contact with that 50 SMA in the daily chart, which is at around 490, the numbers that you said before. If they do break out to the upside, that's the number to be looking out for. And then, like, we got 494, the 100 SMA, and then we got that 507, 200. Convergence
Gotcha.
of moving averages.
Yeah, Chris Bridges asked about Volta. I think VLTA. Is that Volta? I don't know. I don't know this stock. Yeah,
Walter,
Volta. There you go.
ooh, all right. Nah, I don't
Not a
trade
not a
this.
good looking chart. You need a higher
It's a
high
penny
there.
stock. It's a it's a penny
Yeah,
stock. I don't
we don't do
usually
penny
trade
stocks,
it.
guys. We don't. That's our policy. We don't do penny stocks. Wow, 57 cents now. Just stay away from these kind of stocks, guys. It isn't worth it. Yeah. Angelo asked about AQN. This got to be another penny stock, maybe? Is it?
Almost,
Almost.
almost there.
It is on its way to
Yeah,
become a
I
penny stock.
think it's at the all-time lows, all-time lows, all-time lows, all-time lows. Nah, it's
Wow.
not. Not at
That's
all-time
a
lows. It's a monthly charts. I mean, not something which I would trade to the upside, to be honest. Like it's under all the moving averages. I mean, if you want to bottom fish on this, I mean, what is the low?
I mean,
Seven dollars and fifty cents.
What's the risk reward there, Mario? I don't see it any. I mean, yeah,
It's a risk. Like the simple trade plan is like short every bounces. That's all it is. Every bounce you see, short it down. So
yeah.
that's the trade plan.
Do you think we're going to go higher tomorrow when it comes to the SPY? We had a
When
very
it comes
solid
to
close
the
today.
SPY,
So
yeah, more
what's your
like most
yeah?
likely, I think if ES did perform well overnight today, ES, let's see where it's at. Like they did close under 43s. So if they do open higher and like start pushing higher today, I can see them going all the way to 4,000. Let's see.
Okay,
That
there
is
you go.
after CPI, not tomorrow. After CPI, I do think we can see like 4,000 to be tested.
Angelo is thinking about long term. Guys, if you want me to carry out any fundamental analysis, I am more than willing to do so. Just send me a DM or let me know in the main chat, and I am available for that. I love fundamental analysis. Going over balance sheets and income statements and cash flow
Mhm.
statements. So that's one of my specialties. Bro, we're running out of time. 1 minute left. So let's wrap it up. And thank you very much for joining us today, guys. We are going to try to do this at least once a week.
Mhm.
And next time, our sound is going to be way better, promised. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mario.
Take care, man. Bye
And you
bye.
guys in a
Yep.
row, enjoy the rest of your day, okay? 35
Take
minutes.
care.
Bye. Take care.